Today's video will be the first in the Lexicon playlist. And of course, we're going to be talking about hackers. What is a hacker? What a hacker is not. During one of the recent live streams, someone went into the YouTube chat and typed in, "Hey, can you teach me to hack?" And I thought for a moment and began to like autopilot type. Same time my brain's thinking, so someone wants me to teach them to hack. So my fingers type, if you have to ask, the answer is no. You might ask why. Well, we'll get there in a few minutes. In the media, newspapers, movies, television shows, whatever, hackers are evil, they're law-breaking, they're security penetrating, they defeat everything, they can go anywhere, they can get into anything, they can find out everything, and they steal whatever they want. If something happens in cyberspace, which is pretty much everything beyond your house, but we'll talk about that. That's another definition. What is cyberspace? If anything happens in cyberspace, hackers get the blame. But see, these things aren't characteristics of hackers. Those are characteristics of crackers. Let me give you an example. When I was younger, just beginning to do my college stuff, we had to learn two programming languages, COBOL and Fortran. And the only computers they had in the whole college was in the computer lab. In this lab, they had a prime mainframe, mini whatever it was called, sitting in there pretty much in the room with us. And they saw over there in that corner, they had a punch card reader. And they'd let us play with the punch card reader because they were still switching away from using punch card in the 80s. I might surprise people, but we were still using punch cards. They were still being used in the 80s. And in some places, from what I understand, some government installations and stuff, they still are. Anyway, so we're sitting in the class, and out of sheer boredom, I type help. And it came back with an error. It said, help from what? Type help if you want to find out all your possibilities. So I type help space help. Ooh, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Ooh, what's that? It said help passwords. So I typed help space passwords. And lo and behold, what came up? Every username that used that prime and every one of their passwords. Clear text right there. You could see everything. So I went over to the lab supervisor and said, hey, are you aware that all the usernames and all their passwords are available at the help prompt? They said, yeah, it doesn't matter because everybody's got the same stuff. And, it's a whole different world back in the 1980s. I said, but were you also aware that all the faculty, their home addresses, their phone numbers, and their salary information is also available at the help prompt? Wow. Like I said, it was a completely different world back in the 1980s. How things have changed. Eric Raymond says it this way. Hackers build things, crackers break them. He also defined 5 characteristics of hackers. I'm going to go through his characteristics. I'm also going to provide a little bit of explanation from my own perspective and my own experience. His first characteristic is the world is full of fascinating problems to solve. They're just waiting to be solved. Well, yeah, hackers like puzzles and they like solving them even more. His second one is no problem should ever have to be solved twice. Hackers don't want to revisit a problem they've already solved. And they don't want to see anyone else have to revisit it or reinvent the wheel on something they just finished or they've already solved. Whether the solution can be improved or not is a whole nother problem to be solved or investigated. His third characteristics of hackers are boredom and drudgery are evil. Hackers are very creative, out-of-the-box thinkers. They should never be bored. They're always pondering something. There's always another problem to solve. There's always another solution to try on the problem you're currently working with. There's always something to keep them going. The fourth characteristic was freedom is good. Hackers crave cooperation and exploration. Situations or people or environments or whatever that oppress and restrict and otherwise censor the effects of a hacker, it's only going to come back with resentment, animosity, bitterness. There's going to be an inevitable tug of war. They don't meet too well. The fifth characteristic, attitude is no substitute for competence. Hackers are not interested in people's or person's claims, their appearance, or even their attitude. Hackers only respect actual ability. Eric Raymond also provides a definition of a hacker. He says that at their core, hackers solve problems and build things, and they believe in freedom and voluntary mutual help. So let's go back to the question that was posed in stream. Can you teach me to hack? Of course the answer is no. Hackers have an innate, insatiable desire to learn and to explore. In the process of tackling a problem, the solution itself may very well lead to someone who has solved something similar. There's cooperation. It's one of the characteristics. So you reach out and you tell them, hey, this is what I've tried. This is where I'm getting stuck. Do you have any ideas? Well, if they see you're legit and you've actually tried something legit and it's, you're at a definite dead end, there's a chance they may help out or connect you with someone who might be able to. Hackers are not going to hand you experience on a plate. You're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to learn how to solve problems, how to test solutions. I don't want to say scientific method, but to a point, there's a lot of that going on. They're also not going to allow you to miss out on an opportunity to solve that problem and to be able to share it with others. In closing, hackers built the internet. They built the World Wide Web. Hackers build operating systems from scratch. And even in the AMD press conference, they just described redesigning the Zen 3 architecture on a napkin. That's how hackers work. Hackers are everywhere. They're in every field, every industry, every trade, not just hooked to a keyboard and a computer. The entire world has benefited from the contributions of hackers. And anyone can be a contributor. Not just on computers, not just on the internet, just in your own world. If you see a better way to stock the shelves and it's faster, then do that. If you are some kind of savant at fixing cars and stuff and things just make sense to you, share how you've made those connections. Anyone can make the world better. Anyone can build, and anyone can contribute, including you.